Hi everyone, Kyle Farx here, hoping that you can come see the full Paprika series June 16th at the Woodbury 10 at 6 p.m. Come see my niece and my fake son.
Okay.
And Kayla.
And Kayla, sorry. Okay.
You're listening to this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. It would greatly benefit the show. Hello and welcome to Movie Vaders with the Farx Brothers. I'm Kirk.
I'm Kyle.
And we're joined by Alex Marvin, photographer, videographer, cinematographer, and producer. Almost rhymes. This is the Ice Road, right? Is it the Ice Road or just Ice Road?
Oh, that's a good question.
The Ice Road.
I think it's the Ice Road.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
the
spoilers.
definitive article. Spoilers.
Or wait, no, I think it's just Ice Road.
Excuse me. It's Liam Neeson, big
Ice
fucking
Road.
letters, Ice Road.
Word it is.
Is this a movie? Do you watch movies with your father?
I used to a lot, yeah.
Okay, this seems like a movie you would watch with your father. This is like there's nothing complicated. What? No?
There's not enough action in this movie.
Not enough action?
Yeah, I don't think there is. There's a lot of talking in the car, driving.
They kill Morpheus in like the first 10 minutes.
But they cut off the thing so he drowns. They cut off the rope.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
He shouldn't have died. The way that cable twisted around his leg, it would have gone all the way through, but it just kept going and going. And he should have, I was optimistic the first time I watched it that they were going to be able to fix him. Yeah. He'd lose part of his leg, they'd suture him up, Gertie's, ex-military, and they'd keep going.
That's why I made the joke. I meant my leg, not the rope. Cut my leg off.
When he's like, cut it off, he made the joke, cut my leg off. But here's the thing, is I think the reason it didn't go through is because of the rubber boot. It got stuck on the rubber boot. And like you see it like twisted around the boot. Because I was thinking about that. I've watched this movie more than once. And I was like, oh yeah, Larry goes. And yeah, I think it's because it was the boot. Like it's just convenient. And Fishburne didn't want to do more than 5 days. He's like, 1 week? Do they match my daily rate? All right. I mean,
that's a great ad for that boot. I'd buy those boots.
Well, I guess you didn't like the code either. That's why you only did 5 days on that movie?
Maybe. I don't know. Like, a lot of this, did it seem like it was shot on green screen to you?
I think a lot of it
Maybe
was
the
shot
ice
in the
part.
field.
In the field? Wow. What? And you would know, so why did you think that?
I mean, I've just seen some of the same things. I've been to some like similar places, and I'm not saying perhaps a large chunk of it wasn't done with green screens or it wasn't done with like the video. What's that workflow
The
called?
volume?
No, what part?
The volume video wall? Is that what
The
you're saying?
video walls.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
I
then
think a lot of it was just done in the field.
All right. I mean,
thought so.
Netflix bought it back in 2021 for $18 million. So
I mean, I think like the truck shots and like all of those outdoor shots, I think those were all like done in the field.
I wonder if because they made this in Canada and it doesn't make the Canadian government look bad, it makes getting a Canadian government contract seem really important. If they had good, Canada has better tax incentives than Minnesota, obviously. That's why more movies get made there than Minnesota. We're trying to fix that. So.
Yeah, I mean, there are a number of scenes that I would describe as being like technically quite challenging to capture, specifically trucks moving, relatively low light, and the northern lights are dancing in the sky. That's a challenging shot to get. I've also like seen those scenes with my real eyes, so it's like it's possible to record those.
That's a good advertisement. Did you watch this on a big TV?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it's endorsement for it. I think the first time I watched it on a big TV. This time I watched it on a laptop. I'm sorry, but
I watched it on my phone. Yeah.
You did? During work?
No, I watched it last night. Last night. Yeah.
In bed. I bet you that's what he did. He was in bed and he was watching it. Wait. So you gathered your friends together and was like, "Hey guys, we all got to watch this."
More or less, yeah.
I love it. How many people were there?
There was just 4 of us total.
That's fucking amazing. Because as a married person, anytime we can get Mrs. Farx and I to sit through a whole movie, and it usually takes 2 nights, it's like, wow, that was great. Otherwise I'm going to the movies probably for this or late after the kids have gone to bed and Mrs. Farx has. as well.
Yeah, and one thing that was kind of like nice about when we watched it was we were more or less done with like our most extreme time in Alaska once we were actually watching the film. Like we were out of the Arctic Circle and we're like no longer traversing this like road up and down to go into this mountain pass to photograph the northern lights like deep into the night when it's like flirting with like -30, -40 sometimes, and it's like.
Wait, so you guys are just watching this at the lodge on Netflix or something?
We watched this at an Airbnb once we were basically back in Fairbanks, I believe.
After going on all these adventures, you watch this?
Yeah, and it's like that was like good context for everyone, I think, because like we weren't driving in. I mean, it's hard to compare the danger like 1-to-1. I would probably say what they were doing is more dangerous.
Yeah. It's also a movie, so they made it more dangerous, and like a corporation was fucking people so that they could, get a insurance payout is kind of what it seemed, right?
I think it was. Yeah, they were kind of vague on it. I think it was an insurance thing because they blew it up on purpose, more or less.
Well, from my recollection, this failure of like methane or whatever happened because there was someone in like middle management or like upper management who like wanted the sensors turned off so that they can continue working and like continue, the money machine, keep it pumping. And so they bribed a number of people $100 per month to turn them off, to like totally omit this like safety feature so they could continue doing their work. How much? And like it's like that's fraud.
$100 seems pretty low though, a month.
Well, yeah, but to people that don't have better options, like it was a diamond mine. At least it wasn't like one where there were, people who were essentially slaves with like children on their back mining it, but they're still kind of, screwed. And like taking it further is like when they're all underground is like, hey, should we kill a third of us so that we have more oxygen to breathe? I was like, man, that's because there's people who. The soccer team that lands in Brazil and eats some of them, and some of them make it off, and like, I don't know.
I mean, I wonder if that was the same thing where there was just basically 1 or 3 people who were kind of orchestrating all of that bad stuff. Because it was like the same guy who was like taking the bribes and like navigating like the bribes who also suggested killing a third of the people for more oxygen.
Yeah, and they don't really deal with him at the end enough.
He gets punched in the face and that's it. Yeah, and fired, I think.
Punched in the face and fired. No, you should go to jail for like fraud. Fraud you go to jail, and then like he put people's lives in danger, and some people died because of the ensuing action. So like I don't know, it's bad.
Yeah, and at first I thought this film was like on the anti-billionaire spectrum, but then at the very end, the guy who owns the whole thing is like, shame on you, you should have never done this. And they kind of take the moral high ground. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Just rely on the benevolence of billionaires. Yeah. Everything will be fine. Did you see the movie Don't Look Up on Netflix?
I haven't seen that yet.
It's about like, a meteor is headed toward the Earth. What should we do? We have 14 months. And like the scientists are like, we need to do this. And then a billionaire is like, we can also mine it for the rare metals that are on it. And, I don't trust the Canadian government. I don't trust billionaires. I do understand that capitalism can move people to make poor choices. And that's why we need public interest regulators, like what a government can provide.
Yeah, and like back on the insurance thread, one thing I found pleasantly quite surprising is the actuary that they sent out, or this guy who like seems to be like an actuary. He's sipping a juice. He's sipping a juice box, and it's like this. Like who's this guy? And then it turns out to be like a trained killer, and he's a total badass, super fit. He's running up to the cornice of these mountains, starting avalanches, and he's a total badass.
He played Liam Neeson, a younger version of him in Kinsey, 15 years before this movie.
Benjamin something.
Yes, he's also Abraham Lincoln in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh, wow. I read that book. I haven't seen the film.
Do not watch the movie. It doesn't have the lesbian vampire scene. Not that it needed to, but I read that book and was very disappointed by the movie. The other book that guy wrote, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, that one I like.
The movie?
Yeah,
the movie. I didn't read the book of Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. I watched the movie for that, and Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, not good. And it was just boring and bland. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it. No.
That guy who tries to kill Liam in this movie, that's
plays Abraham Lincoln.
Plays Abraham Lincoln. Fights you know what? That movie had vampires and slavery. That's what friggin' Ryan Coogler did last week, and no one's brought up Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter in relation to Sinners. Have you seen Sinners?
No.
Why would he be brought up?
Movie to look. What?
I've got a whole list of things I need to catch up on.
Why would Abraham Lincoln come up in that conversation?
Because that was where, in the popular conscious, in the past, 10 to 15 years, the concept of slavery, of making a metaphor between slavery and vampirism as sucking the souls out of people kind of thing. That's what that book is kind of highlighting. It was written by a white guy, but I think he's I don't know. The guy rewrote the one version of The Flash too.
I think I would have laughed if they brought up Abraham Lincoln in the middle of that movie.
No, I'm just saying in the commentary around the movie, no one has brought up, hey, wait a second, this concept was already taken by Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, starring the guy from this movie. And without having watched this movie, I still wouldn't have thought of that. You really do need to see Sinners. I think you will very much enjoy it. And watch it on a very big screen. Watch it with the IMAX shifting aspect ratio, because as people may discover from another part of our conversation, they shot some parts in I think it was 70 millimeter. Yeah, and I thought it was, I think it was actual film, not digital. Don't quote me. He's got a video on that. You could go watch it, and that'll probably inform your viewing someday. So you didn't watch this when it came out. You watched it 1 or 2 years ago, and then because you were doing this show, you said, hey guys, we just went on this amazing adventure with.
I just wanted to get fresh on this. This was 3 weeks ago when I watched it again, which was the second time I watched it.
Wow.
Okay, I do like the guy running around and doing all that, but I also kind of I have this aversion to how many professional killer guys can there actually be in the world, There
has to be enough to keep things going.
I believe capitalism has enough, obviously. Jeffrey Epstein got his start in weapons. Let's all remember that before he moved on to the kids.
All right. I was going to bring up John Wick, and there's a shit ton of assassins in that movie.
Yeah,
you don't see a problem with that.
John Wick is a clearly silly thing where it's John Wick, you're John Wick from, okay. Liam Neeson and John Wick, we're all dudes here, so that's standard before you walk in the door.
And probably the archetype of John Wick has been around for a long time. There's been these kind of assassin types in stories for a long time.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of this evolution that we took after the 30s and 70s noir is just guy with gun who really special trained. Kind of in the 70s you had that. But they made it more sexy in the 90s, and then John Wick in the 2010s.
But what's your issue with the guy in the movie? That he should have been an assassin?
The verisimilitude between this reality and our real reality is I'm not confident of how many professional killers there are in the world. You've traveled. Well, how many professional killers do you think are walking among us?
I mean, that I am aware of, 0.
Well, I would hope so.
I'm aware of none of them. Yeah.
I guess, do you understand the point I am making? That is I don't know how many of these guys that are super skilled plus have an amoral code.
Yeah. But he's not super skilled. Sure, he caused an avalanche and survived that car falling off the cliff, but I don't think he's skilled. Yeah.
I mean, he can navigate rigging explosives. He can he knows enough about diesel engines and he knows how to total them in a quick way. And he does that one thing to the character Tantu where she's pretending to be passed out and he puts a lighter underneath her nose to wake her up. That's trained killer shit. It's how do you know those tricks unless it's you've been taught those things?
Wait, wouldn't anyone wake up if you put a lighter under their nose?
Well, that's unless they're totally unconscious. I think that's the idea, yeah.
What? They would feel the fire as soon as you...
I think if you're... I mean, I've never been like knocked out, but I imagine.
Yeah, you're gonna try it, guy.
Yeah.
Kind of like, well, I would have to be. I would have to be unconscious.
Yeah.
So I'd have to wait till I was sleeping and then tell you, yeah, try to put a lighter under my nose, and then trust that you know, not gonna screw that up and burn the bed or something. I don't know. Yeah. I really like her as an actress. I feel as though her character.
She doesn't have a lot to do in this movie.
She had a lot to do with the movie.
She had a lot of like things
to
do,
but she's
but not
mostly
like
she had little things that became enormous.
Yeah, but then she gets kidnapped more or less, and then gets tied up, and then comes back a little bit. Well, she drives the truck over the bridge.
Well, so there's like two moments that I think like were like pretty quick, but they're important. One moment was like they thought they were all gonna go under, and then she prayed. She like had this moment where it's like we're going under, and she prayed, and that was the sequence. And then
they flip over to the side,
and then they didn't sink.
Yeah.
So it's like, to what extent was that like her doing? I think there's room for interpretation.
Hey, that's God, okay, or God's doing.
And then it was also her relationship with Skeeter the rat, having Gertie's like pet rat, and like having, you know, maybe just like a more advanced connection with like nature and animals, and like the rat comes out and bites them, and then that was like a moment where it's like, okay, suddenly things are like on the up for the good guys, and she had I think a lot to do with that.
I guess one of the things that I am bumping on is that until you mentioned the she prays and then it works out, is that she, other than for cosmetic reasons, it's like, does she need to be Native American? Not that she shouldn't be Native American, but were they using that as dressing in an inappropriate way in this movie to just kind of like check a box?
No, I mean, it doesn't come up all that much.
But that's what I'm saying, is that it comes up at the beginning, like, I'm going to keep, like, when they introduce her character, like, yeah, you know, you're not supposed to do that. And she's like...
Yeah, but that's like her character trait. You know her character as a rebel or someone who goes against the law, essentially, yeah.
And they needed like skilled and like badass people to like drive these rigs on short notice.
Sure. Is it the equivalent of making, you know, like a magical person of color to, you know, imbue them with, oh, she's skilled, and it's because...
No, because she doesn't save the day a whole lot. She drives the bridge. She drives the truck over the bridge, but that's it. And then Liam Neeson does most of the work. He does.
Again, I'm just saying, like, did they use it as window dressing in a way to, like, seem more progressive than the movie actually is?
No, I didn't think anything more about it.
Me? You guys are just like, no, I didn't think about it. Okay, I
didn't think about it. I just like accepted that they were like an important character,
Native
and it made
American
sense.
character, sure.
Yeah, and
I mean, one thing you'll find out if you spend a lot more time in like these like northern territories, if you will, is there are like more Native people.
Yeah, because that's where they are. I guess an example of where I've seen Amber Midthunder, and that like her ethnicity didn't have to play a part of her character, whereas like it's integral to Prey. This one, it seems like window dressing. She's in a movie called Novocaine. You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
And she plays a dynamic character where her ethnicity isn't relevant to that character in any way, and she kind of plays an, I would say, unexpected female lead to that kind of movie. So I've got an example of post this where her career has evolved to where she doesn't always need to be playing a Native American character. So that's... I just like to point out these immutable things, but I'll bring it back to something else. I'll relate it to the veterans thing. Like, they kind of use Gertie's veterans status as, like, window dressing. I guess it helps to getting him... he was injured in Iraq, but are we supposed to go, oh, the injury in Iraq led to his aphasia? I thought aphasia was more of a genetic thing. I just know Bruce Willis has it. That's the only thing I know about aphasia.
Oh, I think it was he was in Iraq that he had injured, and then it started.
And that's how his aphasia... Like, is that what you took? Is that his aphasia was a result of his injury in Iraq?
Mm-hmm. And they also, like, have a scene that, like, illustrates this in in the sequel.
What?
Oh, he's in the sequel as a flashback?
Yeah, which is like they don't like spoiler
movie.
for this is like they just don't have enough context for like it was just like underdone like their flashback. But yeah, it was like a war injury where his like aphasia or like memory issues that was like caused.
Oh.
And then
I'm glad you watched the sequel. You said it sucks though, right? Don't watch it?
I mean, it was like just not as good. It doesn't like totally suck, but it's just not as good. It's kind of a reach for like Ice Road. It's like it's Liam Neeson and he's in the same universe and like, you know, Gertie has this like ask that his ashes are spread in this area, and so he's like, Liam Neeson's like, okay, I'm gonna do it for you. And it's like there's a bus hijacking, and Liam Neeson like Taken comes out and he does his thing, and
man, that makes that I almost want to watch Ice Road Vengeance, which only has one Ice Road sequence in it, as I heard.
And it's like, it's not even an ice road. There's like if I recall correctly, there's like a brief like snowy patch, but they're mostly on like dry roads in Nepal.
This is a weak Liam Neeson movie. I'm sorry. Have you seen Cold Pursuit?
No, I haven't.
Dude, fucking Cold Pursuit. So fucking funny. Although Liam Neeson did say all of that racist shit in relation to the press steward.
Oh.
Not racist exactly. He was just admitting like past grievances in his past because he was like, when somebody that I was close to was injured by a person of color, I went out with and he said like a Kolevchik or one of these like things you could hit someone with.
A mallet?
Billy club? No, not a mallet, but it's like a rubber thing you did somebody with, and I went looking for it and was like, whoa, why'd you say that? Maybe he wanted to make less movies. He made a lot more movies after that, so.
I mean, the veteran, like Gertie being a veteran might have been like window dressing to some extent. Because like without that, character trait, they wouldn't have been able to like dog on Big Pharma in the ways that they do a couple of times with just like, no, my brother doesn't need any of this.
Yeah, and it also was a way to like hit at the VA, and like, I'm fine with that. They don't have, I was telling Kirk, EMR, electronic medical records in some cases. So, like, you're basically damning people to mistakes when you have, paper records. And something like medication is tracked easier over electronic medical records. So you can also maybe potentially track how does this medication interact with that medication. And, yeah, maybe we're not motivated by our pharmaceutical system to worry about that. But that's only a thought the movie introduces to me. It doesn't like do much with it. And that's what bothered me about this movie. No, I enjoyed watching this movie again, knowing you're an Alaska guy and coming out, I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't expose ourselves to the same like kinds of risk, but it's like we were driving in risky places, and a flat tire or like spinning off into the ditch like where we were is like would have been trouble fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine anywhere.
And it's like we weren't like totally like alone. It's like if something were to happen, it's like there would be a trucker that would come by within a couple of hours. And like from what I hear, some of the people who like drive these lines are like the best of the best and like the most like professional people you can like encounter. And it's like I've heard they're like very kind as well. But it's like you have to be careful. I mean, these roads, because of the temperature changes, will like buckle in weird ways. I don't think the roads are directly affected by permafrost in this area. They might be. But there are a number of areas in Alaska where the roads will disintegrate and have to be rebuilt because of the permafrost and the ice freezing and thawing. It pretty much just disintegrates the road and it has to get rebuilt. And, these highways might be 55, 65 mile an hour roadways or whatever. But it's like if you're going that fast on some parts, you'll be airborne. And like you can crash, and it's like you have to read the road, and there's wildlife, and there's ice, and.
Do you carry a gun for wildlife?
I don't know.
Not you personally, but in your party, if you're like, oh, if we get a flat tire and a grizzly bear approaches, I guess grizzlies you don't have to worry about as much because you shut yourself in the car. But like, I don't know, just. Does anyone carry a gun for like if there's wildlife that?
Nope, and we didn't even have like bear spray for this trip. We didn't need it.
What? Oh wow, okay.
I mean, I would go so far as to say we all have like good karma and we have a good relationship with nature.
Yeah, that's good.
We're also like not like approaching bear in like these times where it would be like an issue, and like we know enough to know if we saw a grizzly bear and it was approaching us in this time of the year, it's like that's a problem because these bears are more or less supposed to be laying down and like well fed.
Oh, yeah.
And like a grizzly bear specifically out in this time of the year moving, it's like it's hungry and it might like make bolder decisions. I've like almost had like potentially bad interactions with grizzly bears.
Okay.
we were driving in Haines, Alaska like 3 or 4 years ago, and it was kind of like on our shot list to like try and get a photograph of a grizzly bear, and it just wasn't happening. And then we're driving, it's like 11 p.m. It's like it's like blue hour. It's not dark in June. And we just like saw one in the rearview mirror, and we're like, wow, let's pull a UE and just come around, like take some pictures. And I'm in this elevated like lifestyle van basically, and I'm coming up on this shoulder of this like windy road in like coastal Alaska. There's like a mountain on my left, and then a small forest, steep drop off into the ocean on my right, and that's like where the bear was. And it's like we're coming up on the guardrail, and I've got my camera, and I see this grizzly bear, and then I see a cub poke out from behind her, and then this grizzly bear stood up, squared up with me, and looked. We had eye contact. I'm just like, peace, we're gone. We're gone. Nice. Like, we don't, sorry to bother you, we're gone. My
with
bad.
With the kid, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't, like,
yeah, the motherly instinct to defend your kin is like, that's universal, perhaps. Yeah. And then there's another time I was just on the shoulder of the road on the Alaska highway, and there was a grizzly bear approaching. I was taking some photos, and then it like picked up, and I'm like, I'm getting in my car. And that was, I didn't have like bear spray then either. And grizzly bears I've heard they'll chase your car. They'll like swat at your vehicle if you irk them enough.
Well, I think that's a great place to end this. Spoilers for the Ice Road. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for listening. For more JK Productions, find us on Instagram at JK Productions Team and on Facebook, JK Productions MN.